Barbados to receive a $6 million grant from China. 13 injured in a tour bus accident at Bath St. John. And in sports, the West Indies pull one back against India in Antigua.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the Whit Monday edition of the CBC Evening News. And our top story tonight, a number of small-scale development projects which Barbados has on the cards should be coming on stream even earlier than planned. That's because the People's Republic of China has just agreed to provide Barbados with a grant of just over $6 million to finance them. Shane Seeley reports.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Senator Maxine McLean has initialed an economic and technical cooperation agreement with the Vice Minister in the Chinese Ministry of Commerce in a ceremony in the Great Hall of the People and witnessed by Prime Minister Frondell Stewart and China's Premier Wen Jiabao. During the ceremony, the governments also signed two other agreements that will assist Barbadians, particularly those in the areas of education and sports. One will see the long overdue remedial work being undertaken at the Wilde Gymnasium, while the other will benefit those persons who are desirous of learning Chinese as a second language. The government of China has agreed to carry out work on the maintenance and repair of the electronic scoreboard and associated works at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. This will entail replacing the current display screen and equipment in the control room, installation of additional air coolers, repairing the ceiling, and providing the necessary spare parts and training for Barbadian technicians, among other things. The agreement also calls for the establishment of a Chinese language teaching post at the UWI Cayville campus, initially for 2 academic years, starting later this year. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
Acting Prime Minister Ronald Jones has made it clear that Barbados bears no hostility towards Jamaica. Mr. Jones was responding to comments made by Jamaica's Prime Minister Bruce Golding in a newspaper article that his country would not be bullied into allowing Red Jet to fly there. Prime Minister Golding's comments came after an alleged incident last week at the Grantley Adams International Airport. In explaining the situation, Mr. Jones said he was informed that 2 Caribbean airline flights were subjected to a ramp check. During the course of a ramp check, the officers of the Civil Aviation Department were asked to review a number of items. These included personal documents, an airman certificate, medical certificate, and the flight logbook.
Caribbean Airlines flies into Barbados very, very regularly. Is part of the process of bringing visitors from the Caribbean and from other parts into our shores, and Barbados would not do anything to frustrate the movement because the operation of CAL is part of the self-interest of Barbados, and therefore we wouldn't do anything to that. So one can always get a misinterpretation of what took place. I believe that the practicality of what went on, the thing took, I believe, about 50 minutes.
Prime Minister Golding also went on record as saying that despite Red Jet being a registered Barbadian company, the ownership is not consistent with that. Acting Prime Minister Ronald Jones has, however, made it clear that 51% of the airline is owned by Barbadians, and that makes it this country's national carrier.
Therefore, those who continue to look at what I call the accreditation process for Red Jet could well consider and accept from the legitimate government of Barbados that A1 Ventures, which operates Red Jet, is in fact a majority owned by Barbadians. So I don't think that Mr. Prime Minister Golding, the Honorable Bruce Golding, should in fact worry too much that there's going to be a war between Barbados.
Emergency services were pressed into action last night after a tour bus overturned on Bath Hill in St. John. Lisa Broom has the details.
A day of fun and frolic ended in near tragedy last night. 30 people returning from a picnic at the popular Bath Beach were injured when their tour bus overturned. Emergency services quickly converged on the scene, led by a triage team from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. They were assisted by the Barbados Fire Service, a roving response team, the St. John District Emergency Organisation and the Department of Emergency Management. The fire services station officer Maynard told CBC his men went into action quickly.
We set up his command, set up an area for the ambulances, and we started pouring off and get the individuals out of the area. We did a search of the vehicle to make sure that no one else was left in the vehicle. And when they were all clear, we assisted the ambulance service in moving the patients into a safe area that they can do a triage.
Once the triage area was set up, medical personnel got to work, assessing and treating the passengers, who all complained of various soft tissue injuries. 6 were deemed more serious and transported to hospital. The bus, owned by Johnson Tours, was driven by 41-year-old Roger Gibson of Redmond Village, St. James. He too was treated for injuries. Residents gathered at every vantage point to get a view of the proceedings. Their presence, according to station officer Maynard, was somewhat of a challenge.
The most difficulty we had were the onlookers. We needed to get them out of the area that we could have a smooth operation. And the police assisted us with that, and most of the people were cooperative afterwards.
MP Mara Thompson was also on the scene. She told CBC she was ready to assist in any way needed. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
And on the beaches of Barbados, Barbadians gathered to hold picnics and play games to enjoy their day of relaxation this Whit Monday. At Accra Beach, tourists were sunbathing while others played friendly games of cricket, football and tennis. More people gathered at Bronx Beach, where locals set up picnics under the shade of trees. They told CBC it was a time to relax and take in an extra day for the long weekend. Well, the absence of furniture manufacturers has left a void at this year's BMEX. That's according to Executive Director of the Barbados Manufacturers Association, Bobby McKay. She made the comment during the closing ceremony of the annual expo at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. During that ceremony, awards were presented to a number of businesses for their exhibits. These included Best Food Booth, Best New Product, Best New Fashion Design, and Best Booth Portraying Theme of the Room.
We know that many of them are waiting for the Furniture Expo later this year, and others, especially one who we're going to be announcing in a few days, has just taken on a massive project for the Grenada Marina, and they are working day and night to do all of the furniture for the villas there. This is a call, we believe, for more furniture manufacturers anyhow, because we believe that we too have missed their strong presence this year. The furniture sector is part and parcel of the Barbadian fabric, and when their absence is noticeable, we listen and we will share with them that yes, there's a Furniture Expo later this year, but you have been looking for them.
Ms. McKay also said the quality of this year's exhibits was pleasing.
We've been working very hard, everyone, to talk about labeling requirements, and I've seen a lot of improvements. And so I want to salute all of the manufacturers, small, medium, and large, who've heard that and who have done some work and really worked on improving your packaging and your labeling.
More news ahead in just a moment. Please stay with us. Barbadians are paying more for liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG. Effective midnight last night, the 100-pound cylinder was increased by $4.24 and will now be retailed at $170.64. The 25-pound cylinder costs $45.30, up by $1.06, while the 20-pound cylinder increased by 84 cents and will now be sold at $36.24. Well, for the second time this month, an unknown sea creature has washed ashore in the Christchurch area. This time it was spotted by a family in Atlantic Shores. 15-year-old Ryan Hall says his family was spending the weekend at a guest house when they came down to the beach and saw the creature. He says the stench became overwhelming, but they cannot identify what it is.
We first spotted it on Friday. It was spotted on the shore. Recently, we didn't see it yesterday. We saw it this morning while my mother and my aunt were walking along the beach. They just assumed that it was some sort of sea creature washed up. They came inside the house panicking. We saw it, and my cousin, he took a sample of the white layer, covered over it, and we still don't know what it is.
Well, this week, Monday, some children in the neighboring communities of the YMCA got a treat as the Y opened its doors to have fun for the whole family. President of the YMCA's Ballroom Club, Emerald Holder, says this year the Y is focusing on the children. Mr. Holder says the event is to ensure the community knows the Y is still alive and interested in looking after the children of the community.
This is our way of really reaching out to the community of which we are part of, to really give back and hope that the kids in here know that the YMCA is their home, that they can come and play their games and enjoy themselves.
Floor member for the executive of the YMCA's Ballroom Club, Fiona Maloney, says it was a day to relax and get to know the community better.
We're having indoor games and outdoor games, and as long as the weather holds up. And this evening, of course, we're going to have, it is the Ballrooms Club, so we're going to have some line dancing, and we're going to have some karaoke. So the whole idea is to have some fun, a good, wholesome day of fun today.
And Sean Green will be along next with the sporting action on the evening news.
Welcome to Lime Sports World.
And good evening, I'm Sean Green with the Lime Sports World. We begin with cricket news. The West Indies have managed to win their first game of the Pearl Digicel series against India. The victory came in the fourth ODI at the North Sound Ground in Antigua today when they crushed the visitors by 103 runs. When the Windies batted, they reached 249 for 8 on the back of 70 from Keywan Pollard and 67 from opener Lendl Simmons. Man of the match, Anthony Martin, then bagged 4 for 36 and Andre Russell 3 for 16 as the Indians were dismissed for 146. Here are some of the highlights.
And more problems than gone. Well, he never ever looked settled against the short ball. Out, straight into the hands of backward point. There he goes, that's a mighty blow. That's gone for 6. He really picked that one up.
That's 6. Used his feet. Always good to see. That's 6 more. That's just well hit, but not well enough, and he's out.
Given him out leg before. Googly didn't read it, and umpire Malcolm raises a finger. Now you'll have to hurry at the bowler's end. He's gone.
Nice straight hit from Pollard. That'll travel for 6 quite easily. Controlled shot.
Straight back past the bowler for 4. He really hammered that.
He has 2 consecutive carom balls.
Carries him to his 50. It's his full 50 in one-day internationals. Kieron Pollard.
Well, he selected to go over long off and hasn't made it, and that's the end of Pollard. Well, he struck that hard, but not hard enough. And he's taken on the long-on boundary. Russell will be, and this one has gone out to long off and taken. So India need 250 runs to win.
And he's touched that one.
Good catch, well taken. Extremely good catch by Darren Sammy.
Now is that gone? That is gone. Russell has his man. I think that's gone. I think that's gone. It's good work by Martin. It's even better work by Carlton Bohr. And he's taken.
In the air and taken.
In the air. Someone is going to try to get under it. And it's taken. Coming out in the deep. Darren Bravo. And here's another wicket.
In the air and an easy catch. Now stumping. 103 runs the West Indies win by So it'll be a boost to their confidence.
The fifth and final limited overs game bowls off in Jamaica on Thursday, with India holding a 3-1 lead. In football news, Meridian Castro Youth Milan are the 2011 BFA Digicel Premier League champions after taking an unassailable lead last night at the National Stadium. Milan defeated Mackinson Britain's Hill 3-0. Their victory came off the boots of Kenroy Skinner, who slotted in 2 in the second half, after the first half ended in a goalless. Then it was Corey Barrow who booted home the final goal to wrap up the game and the title. With just 2 more games to go in the season, Milan needed that win just to hold on to the top spot on 37 points, 8 ahead of the defending champions, Clayton's Colatonic Notre Dame. Meanwhile, the Dames progressed to second place, just 1 point ahead of Britain's Hill, following a 4-2 win over Pride of Gore Hill, and coupled with Britain's Hill's loss to Milan. The Dames struck first through DeCarlo Gemant before Jamal Chandler and Jason Gooderidge sent Gore Hill up 2-1. However, the defending champion struck 3 more times as Daquan Adamson, Jermaine Best and captain John Nobby Paris pushed the Dames to a 4-2 decision.
Good evening. A mixture of sunshine and showers prevailed in Barbados today. The maximum temperature was 31.7 degrees Celsius, the minimum 26.2 degrees. At 6 o'clock, the temperature stood at 27 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity 82%, and the winds coming in from the southeast at 18 kilometers per hour. We take a look now at our satellite photo, where the leading edge of a tropical wave moved across our area, generating some sharp showers today here in Barbados. That wave is now located at 60 degrees west. However, most of the clouds, showers and thunderstorms associated with that tropical wave remain to the east of Trinidad and Tobago. We are expecting that those clouds, showers and thunderstorms will move over Barbados and the southern windwards later on tonight and also into tomorrow, so we can expect wet conditions then. There's also another wave, this time at 50 degrees west, south of 10 degrees north. The system is moving towards the west and we are expecting it in our area come late tomorrow, so we can expect once again an additional set of moisture in our area, wet conditions again for us late tomorrow. Meanwhile, the high-pressure system remained the dominant feature over the northern islands. As a result, they had mostly sunny conditions then. And we also have the seas moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2.5 meters. However, we are expecting those conditions to deteriorate, and we are urging sea bathers and small craft operators to exercise caution at this time. Over now in the Western Caribbean, a trough system there maintained cloudy skies along with showers over the Bahamas, Cuba and also Hispaniola. As for Puerto Rico, they had some localized showers there. And we are expecting similar weather conditions into tonight and also tomorrow. That's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 5:32 and set at 25 minutes after 6. The first high tide at 1:46 in the early morning, the first low at 8:43 a.m. The sea is moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2.5 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution. The winds coming in from the east-southeast to the east at 20 to 40 kilometers per hour with higher gusts near showers. Barbados tonight will be cloudy with showers, isolated thunderstorms and occasional gusty winds. Come tomorrow, we are expecting cloudy conditions along with very windy conditions as well, with some showers, isolated thunderstorms mainly during the afternoon. Over the southern windwards tonight and tomorrow, it will be partly cloudy to cloudy with showers, isolated thunderstorms and occasional gusty winds. Elsewhere can expect fair to partly cloudy skies with isolated showers. We leave you now with some forecast weather conditions.